Welcome back to the WDS Originals YouTube channel. My name's Jason and today we're going to be talking about my Porsche Cayenne. I've had this car approximately 12 months, so I can give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and of course some of the costs of ownership, which believe me, aren't cheap. Having said that, this has definitely been one of the best cars I've ever owned. So now I'm going to take you back in time to where it all began. Now I bought this car through the trade and paid well under its market value. The reason for that was because this car had a failed transfer box. Now this is a really common thing with these cars. If you do buy even the 3-litre diesel, but especially the 4.2 diesel, they do tend to suffer transfer boxes. The reason for that is the sheer amount of torque that this vehicle produces. For some reference of just how bad they are, this particular car is on 54,000 miles and it's already had a transfer box. So I'm about to put its third transfer box in it and it hasn't even done 60,000 miles yet. For the purpose of the review, the cost of a transfer box direct from Porsche was £1,900. Now Porsche did also offer to do a service on this vehicle at an astronomical cost, so we did it ourselves instead. After completing that service, it was time for our first drive. I was incredibly impressed, so much so that I actually took the car to the Alps with Toby the following week. Now we finished work on a Friday evening, headed straight to the Eurotunnel and drove all the way through the night. After taking it in turns to nap and drive, the following morning I found myself driving through the mountains, having a nice spirited drive. It was at this point here that I realised how good this car was. I'd just done 11 hours in the car, I wasn't uncomfortable and I was ready to go. So when we arrived at the resort, we dropped the bags off and headed straight for the mountains. Now after some spectacular views and a good first day on the mountains, we decided to jump back in the car and head to town. It was at this point I realised how good the Cayenne's 4-wheel drive system was. Not only had it allowed me to go up and down the mountains without getting stuck, but it also allowed me to throw it around and have some fun. Now this was all well and good until the DPF light came on. Now fortunately for me, I had brought my diagnostics machine. So after plugging it in and doing a DPF regen, we were no longer in limp mode and back to normal. Now as this process takes a while, Toby and I decided to look into DPF deletes and remaps. If you do decide to DPF delete your Cayenne 4.2 diesel and have it mapped, it will make an astonishing 460 horsepower and 1,000 Newton meters of torque. Now having driven one that has been DPF deleted, I can assure you that is an incredibly quick car and will not disappoint you. Now one thing that did disappoint me in my Cayenne was the stereo. Not necessarily the audio, as I had the upgraded Bose sound system in my Cayenne, which by the way is fantastic. However, the actual analog buttons and the old style implemented screen was just not aesthetically pleasing in this car. So I actually replaced mine with an Extron's unit, which connected to the factory reverse camera and everything seamlessly. Now whilst we're on the topic of things I like, the interior in this car is absolutely perfect. And I'm sure if it didn't have half as many optional extras, I probably wouldn't be so attached to it. Now my one bit of advice if you are in the market for a Cayenne is go and purchase a car based on its spec. Now my Cayenne has over £30,000 worth of optional extras, all of which contribute to the premium feel of this car. Having said that, there are a few things that feel very plasticky and not so premium and don't function properly, like the cup holders. Now one place you're never going to need cup holders is at the Nurburgring. And oh yes, you guessed it, we went 5-man up and did multiple laps of the ring. So here's a few excitable clips and pics, and I'll let you decide just how well this thing performs.
Go on, it's hard, it's left.
He's slow, mate, you're way faster. Don't need 92, boys.
Left.
Turn the music up.
Turn it on. Fuck's sake. Mate, that is greasy. Yeah. Novak, where are you? Go on, Novak.
In the Cuz you Spec Porsche.
Yes. Come on. Let's go.
I got brakes so early.
Throw out the anchor.
Into that one, Bob. Fucked up, we're going straight. I'm doing dirty on the switchback, but I think the marshal will kill me. Mate, these fucking gearbox. Mate, my brakes are fucked. Oh, mate, we're going in. I had nothing then. Genuinely. Pedal went to the floor, mate. I'm done. That's it. Now, some of you might be asking why I took my Cayenne to the Nurburgring. The simple answer is my V10 E92 M3 build that I'm currently building wasn't ready. As a result of that, I had no choice but to take the daily, whilst all the boys were in their BMs. And of course guys, if you enjoy the BM content, there's plenty more on the channel, so please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as it massively helps the channel grow. Now, one of the best things about a 4.2 diesel Cayenne is its towing capabilities. My Cayenne has got air suspension and I do use a triaxle Brian James T6, but this thing tows like it's got nothing on the back whatsoever. That is probably due to the sheer amount of torque that this thing produces, even with the slightly uneven loads such as my E92 M3, which I collected with no engine. It is totally stable. Likewise again with this M6 that we collected for the V10 engine, the rear end is quite heavy, there was no issues with stability. Also the same with an enclosed trailer. So if it's a tow rig you're looking for, the Cayenne S is definitely a great option. Having previously owned Range Rovers and various other 4x4s such as the X5 and also pickups like the Amarok V6, I have to say the all-round capabilities of the Cayenne is definitely the best. It's comfortable as a daily, it looks very presentable and feels sporty enough without the trailer, but it is also a great workhorse when you want it to be. One thing I was pleasantly surprised by was the fuel consumption. This car used to average 32 to 36 miles to the gallon. Cost of ownership, of course, it does come at a bit of a premium. To buy these vehicles is not cheap, and also to maintain them is certainly not cheap either. As an example, something I had to do in my ownership was a set of brakes all round. Discs and pads front and rear came to a total of £1,200. Tyres for these cars are not cheap. Obviously a full set of Michelin Pilot Sports, as you saw on my car, are also up at the £600 mark. So do bear in mind if you're going to use this car as a workhorse, a bit like I did, and you will have quite expensive running costs. That being said, all vehicles of this size and nature will also have very similar running costs. Unfortunately, I have since sold this vehicle and I'm now currently driving an F15 X5. And if I'm being totally honest, I really don't like it. Put bluntly, the Cayenne was the better car. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and of course if you have enjoyed the content, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video, and of course feel free to subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned earlier, it massively helps us grow and of course enables you to keep up to date with the content. For now though guys, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.